Stroll down as you found a girl and you're married now. Ah, your dreams came true. Guess she gave to you. I didn't give to you. Oh, friend, why are you so shy? Get you to hold back from the lights. I dated you out of the blue and invited, but I couldn't stay away. To be reminded that for me, it isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me. I remember you said sometimes it lasts in love and sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love and sometimes it hurts instead. I love this song. Dell is one of the best singers ever. You disagree with me? You are out of your mind. We were born and raised in a summer haze of our glory days. It's a lap of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't fight it, but I'd hope to see my face, and that should be reminded that for me is all about liquidity. So we got to talk about stocks today. If you haven't figured it out already, it's time for us to talk about other markets. And the reason why, obviously, like the move is dead similar or the same or whatever you want to talk about it. I gotta pull my chair up. But long story short, I'm thinking about someone like you, right? You probably just learned about ICT concepts a couple years ago. You're probably trying to figure out the whole little correlation thing between ICT Goldbach levels. You're trying to figure out stuff with AMD. I feel you, right? Then don't let me distract you, right? I just fucking like to distract people with stuff that'll help you with not just your entry stuff, but you again need to be better at narrating, correct? Anyway, so the reason why I came back to not just spy, but I wanted to show you like what my chart setup looks like from one asset to the other. Okay. So you can obviously see that like I don't have session zone and things like that, right? Instead, you're gonna what weekdays, okay? And I'll give this indicator to you or whatever, okay? So realistically, this weekdays indicator, all right. I just keep it very simple. Like you can label them if you really want to. Like I don't really need to. Like you can, right? And here I'll show you what it looks like. See what I mean? So you have these little panels here, and I color code it so I can see. Like I did it based on AMD. Like what I think. If AMD had a color system, this is what I would use for it. That makes sense. So like, yes, blue accumulation, whatever, cool. Red associated with manipulation, right? For whatever reason. And then green is just associated with distribution for me. Okay. So that's why you have like my Mondays are always blue. It's very similar to me just because we don't have like sessions in the stock market, right? But we have like New York AM, we have New York PM, and we have pre-New York, right? But The reason why this is also important is because I'm trying to get you all to realize that it's not like a super different game when we're going from futures back to stocks or stocks back to crypto. It's a few different variables, but it's not like crazy different. Does that make sense? And like I said, it's someone like you. When you meet someone like me, and like I said, I take things actually very literal myself, right? So when I started actually watching ICT back then, I tell you guys this all the time, right? So even without any of this stuff, the name of the game is what? You need to be a buyer under lows, and you need to be above highs. And so what's really important about this, right? It's like how when I say this, like the exact phrase, like however you define this is what you should be doing in almost any situation. Whether you're intending to scalp it, hold it, or even like, for example, I have a lot of people who like when they're trying to describe, like obviously the sessions are not it. When they're trying to describe to me like what your intention is, right? I understand you're just trying to find a mover or whatever for that day or that week that's just going to go. All you're speaking to me about is the bias. So like when I'm asking you, like, yo, if you're into actually swinging, like, what are you looking to do? Does that mean you're looking for like a intra, like intra week scalp? Like, is that even a term, honestly? But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, you're going for a, let's say, same week swing. Are you going multiple weeks? Are you going same week? Are you trying to be in and out the same day? Like, be intentional. And I'm looking directly at the camera on this one. Like, I need you to be intentional. That was scary, wasn't it? Creepy. But this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, if you're talking about same week swings versus scalping versus multiple day or let's say multiple week swing. Okay. And this is what I'm trying to say. The same way that we operate, like the first thing in your routine, however we like to define it as well. In my opinion, and that's important here, AMD is like the most important thing to me at first. Like I can't even, yo, oh my God, this is another Fire Adele song. Set Fire to the Rain is my second favorite Adele song. She goes crazy on this shit. Anyway, um, let's turn this shit up. Dark and Wilbur. Oh yeah, it's the 21 album from 2010. That's what I was gonna say. It's the 21 album. She went crazy on the motherfucking album. You serious? I'm gonna be talking about Adele this whole video. So if you don't fucking like it, you might as well turn this shit right off. But anyway, we're talking about same week swinging versus scalping versus multiple week swings. Okay, and the reason why AMD is your number one thing you probably want to care about. Never true, never true. You play, they will always win. But I went fire to the rain. Now look, you see how back here this is like middle of September, right? So let's go and session off the month. All right. And it's funny when you're looking at stocks because I totally get it. We're on an hour chart right now. And a lot of people tell me, like, yo, is it about higher time frame arrays? Like, should I just be completely just focused on the daily chart? It's not a wrong thing to say or do, but we're talking about being intentional. So even with that information, what are you looking to do with it? I'm assuming you're talking about swinging it. So again, that's why it starts with you being on time with, and this is annoying, right? Turn these off. Like I know what day is what. You get what I'm saying? But long story short, let's start at the top of September. Okay. Screaming out your name, set fire to the rain. It was the last time that she is so good. Now, this is the thing, right? The reason why I marked the sell side liquidity for you, okay, is when you're looking at the whole month of September, let's be real about something, right? And again, we're going to get to, again, big move. But when you're watching some of these areas, you have to understand it's straight up liquidity. So if you're trying to, again, swing this, right? Again, all my Mondays are blue. Okay. So that means when we're trying to come inside of this area here, right here was a Friday. Of course, we had like a September 1st was not a trading day. So September 2nd was when we really start, right? So this whole month, super bullish, right? And even when we look at some of these Goldbach levels that we are able to play around with, I've talked about this on this channel before, but stocks don't actually go through Goldbach levels the same way that futures do. Like you're not going to see um SPY run a super big PO3 number. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Right? This is operating, and I mean, here, understand that we come up and we don't quite touch the top of the Goldback level, but we do actually involve a lot of these levels that we really need to operate. Meaning, when you see us running from the low of a dealing range over here, when we're trading NQ or YM, no, we're not going to stick on a 27 for very long unless you're scalping. But when you're in the stock market, you can actually play this range for quite a while. And that's the cool part. But even with AMD, right? What do you think it's important to do? And that's why when I say it's fractal, right? You being intentional, you're looking for the version that works for you. So what that means. So we understand that right here, about September 9th, okay? This shows you completely that no, we are not sell side in this area. We have no, this is like the actual bottom. You know what I mean? And so even when we have all these areas that dip down the way they do, you understand that these are all fake. Does that make sense? These are all fake. These aren't for you to actually sell down to make any money. You're trying to get back on the ball. If you are actually swinging, you're just going to simply hold until you get to basically the apex of this range. Okay. But the important part is let's get out of the dealing range. Let's go towards time. For you to. Oh my God. What is this? I've been trying to not keep like all this cash in my pocket. I I don't know. I've been fucking looking up. Anyway, I need to like because when I was walking around Atlanta, like I realized I was walking around with like $1,000 in my pocket, and then I was like, maybe I should not do that. Like, especially when you're like exploring like weird parts of a city you haven't been to in like 10 years, you're like, that's not fucking smart. But I had a lot of fun in Atlanta. Um, the only thing that I dislike is like personally, I think the weed is trash. So me, I probably wouldn't live there. But and this is like people ask me like, what's the point of me like really traveling right now? I'm really looking for a house. So like, I don't know. Do I want to live in Atlanta? And it take me long to figure it out. But it's a good spot to visit, not a good spot to live. And again, this is me. I'm bougie, right? So like I love great weed. And if I can't get great weed where I'm at, you won't find me there. But this is the thing we talk about with like monthly cycles, right? You have 4 weeks, okay? We need this tool. So if we have 4 weeks, you only have two processes, how we talked about. And so if you're using like first week of the month, second week of the month, if you figure out your whole first cycle here is X or A, you're going to trade the rest of this accordingly. And I told you guys before, you're not trading these same cycles like the same way. So, meaning you're not going to show up to an A with the same amount of effort and mental energy that you're going to show up on an M, a D, or an X. You get what I'm trying to say? And people ask me all the time, well, if this is an X, A, and D, that means I'm probably going to skip the first two and only have two left. You're going to get used to seeing that X pretty quickly, and they're going to show you. And so again, I'm talking about this being fractal. Listen to what I'm saying. Okay. So when they're giving you like we need weekdays, when they're giving you like a month, right? Week of the month. Look at this. This is very, 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 very trendy. And I understand how a lot of people are going to confuse it. Because when we're looking through weeks like this, and they give you like a crazy, crazy, super nice run for X right here, we talk about this being A for this entire week. And here I'm pointing directly towards between Monday and Monday. Okay. So from the very top and the very bottom, what do they do to it? They fuck it up. Get what I mean? So like this is some of the stuff to where you could tell that they're coming right down here coming next week. People ask me, like, yo, how do you know that like, you know, they talk about government shutdown, they talk about all this news and stuff like that. This is algorithmic, is what I'm trying to tell you. They're giving you all this stuff in a row. So you have a full week of manipulation, and M does what? It offers you two sides of the marketplace. So you give a ridiculous down, and then you go right up, and then D cycle is really, really consistent. Get what I mean? And it's only until you reach end of the month that they go into a different node. So right when you get to, and don't get me started on nodes right now. We're not going to talk about that. But what we're going to talk about though is when you're getting into some of these areas that in, let's go down to a 15. Some of these areas require your attention if you're an intraday trader. And so if you're sitting there like, yo, I have no idea where my entry is, I have no idea where my exits are, then you need to figure out like what your intention is. And so if you're somebody who wants to again trade like what I call the weekly profile, that means you're spending that Monday through Friday and you need to be on top of your days and your cycle. So that means, what is this? What is this? We get a super super easy one. Is this XAMD or AMDX, right? And if you need to, do it for yourself this way. Put them both at the top and check it out, especially in your study. So when you're trying to work one day at a time, and this is this week, right? And like I said, I added an extra letter for you for the Friday. And you see what I mean about the Friday being like another basically A or X. So you can kind of restart the process over again and just aim for either these two numbers for the Friday, or sorry, letters. I said numbers. Aim for either these two letters on the Friday. Okay. So when you're looking at this, what do you get access to? Is this an A or an X? What do you think? I'll take like 30 seconds to light the blunt, and you can let me know. We're gonna look at a few of these. Y'all is so fucking good, bro. I'm having so much fun right now. Because yo, like somebody like me, I go right from like listening to Young Thug. I'll go right back to V's right after Young Thug. Then I'll put on like Mariah Carey. Then it goes right back to like 1900 Rugrat. And then I'll be listening to like fucking Bones. Leads me right into Rich Homie Quan. That leads me right into like Britney Spears. Oh, bro, you guys know me. You know my ADD hits me like it's a ton of bricks. You feel me? Even in this moment, I was supposed to be doing something. Anyway, so when we're looking at this, right? This right here feels like an X cycle, but I totally understand to where like this can confuse somebody, where this is really trendy and this looks like X, right? Right, trendy. This right here, you have down and then it consolidates. So for me, right now, at this very moment, it feels like X and then D cycles. That's what it feels like. And on top of that is because like look at the A. You get what I mean? With this A, they take out both sides of the A. They fuck the A up. They can't help it. That's like the purpose of it. So if you're looking to be an intraday trader, right? And let's talk about some entry stuff. So we're on a 15-minute chart right now. Okay. And so I understand where somebody's going to sit there and just fucking panic, man. But what you need to do, you need to stop all that panic shit. Work 1 week at a time. Your liquidity is only 2 to 3 weeks back at a time. You're not looking for liquidity from like 1987. Fuck all that. Had me mad for a second. Let me light the blunt. It's funny how much faster I spoke when I'm like not giving a lecture or talking and shit like that, obviously. So I was spoken to save blunt for like fucking 30 minutes, 40 minutes. That's crazy. If I'm sitting here just doing whatever the fuck I'm normally doing, sit there and smoke a pack of woods in like 2 hours. Anyway, so I talked about this before, right? And being on Zoom, you can see like my touchscreen likes to glitch out on Zoom. Asshole. But anyway, looking at some of the stuff, you know what I mean? When they're looking to play the Monday, take the Monday to evaluate. You don't need to trade every single day. I mean, obviously, if you could see the play, and we're going to talk about it, but like if you could see this like 1 day algorithm, that's fine. But what I care more about, if you're like really looking to trade options a little more efficiently, again, SPY is full-time job. I've said this before. If you're looking to be more cost effective or budget friendly, and you don't have a super ridiculous account that you feel like you can play around with, you're going to go to lower evaluation stocks. You're not going to be playing with SPY in the fucking first place. You get what I'm saying? But I also need you to play around with some of these liquidity spots because when you're operating like a weak algorithm, okay, you need to be appropriately understanding the narrative. So, yes, like I said, it's not that it hasn't been going up, is what I'm trying to say. But when they're placing all this liquidity in for you like this, and you're playing the current week, why the fuck do you think they keep making these like ridiculous liquidity pools? This one wasn't even taken in the first place. Yeah. And then watch when we get to the Goldbach levels. Watch this. Okay. So we talked about, let me get me out the way. Damn. How did Outcast come on randomly? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like my ADHD just be hitting me. Let's change it. Uh, let's go on. Let's listen to Plastic Beach album. Just the Gorillas. Stone Eyes is fine. So literally looking at this liquidity, right, that is made for you during the week. Okay. We don't have sessions. I'm not talking about NASDAQ, but the same way that a Tuesday or a Monday is responsible for all your liquidity, whether it's A here or A here, you need to use that. Very simple framework is what I'm trying to give right now. Just simple framework. So your Wednesday and your Thursday, and same thing here. Do you see it again? There's a reason why they don't attack it on the Thursday, which we're typically like waiting for anyway, because your Wednesday and Thursday are your better distribution cycles. They do the Friday because of, and like I said, bro, they're gonna make it feel like, oh, it's so random. We didn't know news was coming out. We didn't know it was all this extra Trump stuff. And I'm telling you, that shit fake, bro. That shit fucking fake. Because what do we end up going through? We end up going through a redistribution for your Friday. So for me, and that's why I gave you this, it's XAMD. T's and C adjustments, signs of change. I can't see now, she said sexy. Oh my God. If you guys love the Gorillas, let's go to a Gorillas concert. Like, I don't give a fuck if that shit is in fucking London. Like, I will be there. I've never been to London, but I hear it's a fun place to go. And I really think that like some of these areas here, watch. Mm. So if we go into the nine, right? If you actually don't like it, you can see how all these had the same low. Watch this. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. The beach on the same routine. Check this out. So you notice how we're on the nine, right? So you see how this move starts right here? What level is that? What is a liquidity void? It's just a multiple candle, one-sided direction function of the marketplace. It's a function. You think this is random? You think they're letting this like happen for no reason? You don't think people are taking massive profits on shit like that? We do the same shit like every couple of years, dog. We do the same fucking shit. And do you think we got places to go lower? Let's check it out. But this is what I'm trying to say, right? I totally get where someone else is going to say, "Well, Jay, they never even touched the top of my Goldbach level." But this is why I'm trying to remind you that if they actually there's two other levels that outside of your actual high EQ and your low, if they actually need to reverse it, and this is a super gem just because we made it to um 200 videos. So super gem for you is that it's the breaker and liquidity void level. If they were going to reverse it and not use high, low EQ, these are the two levels that they actually reverse it from. Overload, overload, go it up to the overload, 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 go it up to the in your soul. When you know your heart is light, electric is the love. I love how they ad lib is a giant fish. Like, I love the fucking Gorillas, dog. They are such a good band. Now, what we need to do for you, take note of this while it's on the screen, okay? Dude, the Ripper G is strong. Ooh. Talk about the Friday. We need entries, right? However, outside of your entry, I need you to understand how to know it was actually going to go this far, okay? Now, outside of this, we're going to go back up to an hour. I want you to really quick, again, outside of your Goldbach levels, see what I mean about the time. Okay. So if I had to label it, now remember, this is like the middle of September. Okay. This is like the going into like the smidge into October. But when you're looking at this, notice how your liquidity is only wait, liquidity that you need to for your look back period. You need to focus on it's not infinite. Okay? Like I said, you don't gotta go back that fucking far. It's only two or three. It's up to like if we go over another week, you're just gonna push this forward. So that means this next week coming up, it's gonna be like these areas here, like this week is now taken out. The same way that this one was taken out after I have these three. So I'm not looking for this area. You get what I mean? I have one, two, and then 3 weeks of look back. You get what I mean? 3 weeks of look back. When I go to a next week, you'll then push it forward. So one will then be like this. It'll be like this. Get what I'm trying to say? So when you're actually noticing that down move and you're saying to yourself, well, damn, like what, how far can the algorithm really push itself? The look back period, and you can even see the, again, the shape of the liquidity in the first place. Look at it. Clear lows, clear lows. You have to see what I mean. They gave it to you on the week with these smaller liquidity pools. Here, 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 you get my point. It's easy. But I understand where you might have gotten to a point where you might even see these lows like during that week or the week after. And every single time you see a sell side candle, you're probably like, yo, fuck, like I need to get down there. I need to get down there. Dog, stop that shit. Stop that shit. They're not going to go that far until they actually engineer you a lot more liquidity. Okay. So that's what I wanted to do first. Let's go back down. Okay. I just want to go to a five. So this is the thing. All right. I want you to get to a point, and it's funny because I'm tiptoeing around some of my words because it takes me 10 seconds to give you a crazy gem that I don't want to give you yet. I got to save some stuff for mentorship, right? Super Fast Jellyfish is a better song than I remember. But listen, watch. Since we're on a 5 minute chart, right? Watch this. This is what I mean. You have by market structure where you need to get to. Okay. Check this out again. Do you see what I mean? Consolidation is actually helpful. It's not just showing you that we're done going up, which is definitely like a valuable piece of information, number one. Number two, look at where you're consolidating. It's not just about what you're doing, but it's about where. 24 hour signs. Habits while you dine like a rabbit with the crunchy crabby cat. Oh, yo, this song is crazy. Super fast, super fast. Skip it through, skip it through. Mm, mm. The liquidity void. So you're going to expect a void, number one. And again, it's right next to you. You could turn all this stuff off. It's right next to you. This is 10:55 in the morning. Okay. Let's do the time. All right. So when you're looking at this, okay, I want to put this is 3:50 from Thursday. I've said this before on this channel. The first thing that you need to get wind on is how to get better at gap theory. That includes you understanding how to use new day and new week opening gaps. My guy, look at this thing. This needs to be filled. It's that simple. Look how much time they spend, and this is your 9:30, okay? Look how much time they spend up here. 9:45 going into your macro. And again, we're going to look right at this on your 1 minute chart. Your 1 minute is where you take your entries. Stop with this, oh, I got to get in on 15 bullshit. No, fuck that. We're not trading fucking crypto here. So I totally understand where someone else is going to say, oh, well, there's more accuracy for. No, 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 no. That is incorrect. Way more accuracy, you get down to this 1 minute and you find that fucking entry. Watch this. So I understand here. There's a wick made at 9:45, but we're going to really get down here. I just wanted to show you this new week opening got via the 5 minute. But look at what you get access to. It's the same thing I gave you on NASDAQ. Listen, super easy. 2022 style, right? Just gap it up, brother. You can't even see this gap. You're not on a 1 minute, bro. You can't even see it. That's what I'm trying to say. Trying to say. Same fucking setup. And what do you need to focus on? Sell side liquid. You got sell side liquidity all down here. And a gap to fill. And then, like I said, your look back period, you understand what's happening. So whether you're paying attention to it via the news or you understand that, like, you know what, hold on. And look, let's get a little more into it. Okay. So we're on the 9 right now. The lowest that we can get to is even on the 3. And I haven't even showed you guys some of my custom levels. Oh, that's in the talk for another day. And that's the funny part. I love the fact that we can run this thing with so many different models. I just happen to be speaking about Goldbach levels mostly on this public channel. But this is the thing, right? So when we talk about like use of the levels or like really having like a spark with this, right? This is what I'm trying to say. This right here coming down, showing you that the even on the 3, you can operate SPY perfectly. And like I said, it's not about um exactly the high low every single time. But watch this. You see that we came up to like EQ while we were up here? But what do you notice as soon as we break down here? This was essentially showing you, like, bro, now I understand that not a lot of people do this a lot, right? You probably haven't half shifted this in a while, but I totally understand where somebody has that, like, Jay, why would you even half shift it? Because you can use EQ more effectively that way. And it makes your stop runs look amazing. And you see my point. We just talked about this being a what? Fair value gap. Value gaps are where sell side ones you're going to find that work are at the top of the range. And where are they rebalancing? Now, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know my fair value gap level is blue. How do you know this fair value gap is going to work? Don't underestimate me, dog. Just because I sit here and say funny shit and listen to fucking Adele, don't mean I'm not gonna give you a gem. Fair value gap. Fair value gap level. What's underneath fair value gap? Like I said, liquidity void. So where are you taking your entries at? Let's get that down. You can take your first entry here. This is right at 10 o'clock. Okay. Right in between that 950 to 1010 macro. This is perfect. Macro spools right to an array. Does it not? You got to understand how macros work, brother. Right here. Get what I mean? 950, boom, and 1010. So right in this window right here, you see right here, as soon as we get into 950, what's the first thing it does? Goes right into that gap. Macro, that is the function. Macro spools to a gap or array or order block or makes a turtle soup that needs to actually make your move. You as the user need to use said array. This displacement was easy. And I totally understand you're probably somebody who's so new to like what the swings look like. So you're probably going to waste a lot of mental energy trying every single time. Oh my God, every time you see an up move, you're probably going to close it, get back in. You're going to close it, get back in, close it, and then you're probably mentally exhausted by the time you even get here. Instead of you realizing what they're actually doing, what do you need to pay attention to? And I'm be getting all of you on this channel to do this. Be a better fucking narrator. They're doing nothing but creating sell side liquidity so they can actually drive the fuck down. They can't go nowhere without the shit. It's like literal gas. And notice that what they're doing the entire time. What are they not doing for you? Stop playing with me. I want to do another color. Oh shit, terrible. It's too green. This song is amazing. What's it? The Glitter Freeze? Yep, Glitter Freeze. Glitter Freeze. Go listen to Glitter Freeze like right now. Dun, 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 dun. Bro, when they tap that gap 3 different times, you already know what time it is. And like I said, you can get in anywhere. 10 o'clock, you can add runners here if you want to, add runners here if you want to. And especially as this 1057, you need to be all over that. You need to be all over that. Because again, it's all about reactions at that point. They're legitimately showing you it's time to go. Do not get in on no pussy ass, disgusting ass bullshit. You get what I mean? Use the gap and use it. Hold from it if you're intending to use it. Every single time you're getting these retracements that do not matter. You're focused on them making you sell side so you can actually get lower. And no, they're not actually taking these highs out. None of them. None of them. Sell side order flow, they're going to protect the buy side and vice versa. Talking about basic stuff. You see what I mean when I keep telling you trading is not hard. None of this stuff is hard. It just requires you to understand what I'm talking about and practice and be able to separate ideas and be able to understand what an objective is and what a function is. You should understand liquidity, bro. That's my job. Let's go watch a movie. I'm bored. See you later.